Hi, everyone. It's Andra Annette, and I'm here with Palafox, and she knows a lot about Pinterest. And Pinterest is a very unused platform, and I think it's a lot of fun. And I think there's a lot of users there, more so than Facebook. I find that I'm having a lot more interactions. And even if people don't necessarily connect with you with what you do, it gets your message out there and allows you a broader scope, and it allows you to experiment and learn. So this is Pal, and I just want to introduce you to her, and let's ask her some questions. Hi, Pal.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So I know like you're really good at this. I mean, because you explained it to me in like an hour's time how to do it and really make the most impact. So I want to talk about like the difference between ideas, like create an idea and an idea pin so people can understand a little about what that is.
Okay, the types of pin.
Yes.
Okay, so there are static pins, the ones that are just like an image or maybe a video is just mostly, they're the ones that you can use to measure the traffic that you're getting from Pinterest. And then there are the idea pins. Idea pins are like Instagram stories, except that they last forever. Instagram stories just go away after 24 hours. Idea pins are gonna be on Pinterest for eternity. And the thing with idea pins is that they have the highest reach right now. And the function that they have is that they're gonna bring people to your sphere. They're gonna be there for people to discover, and then they can decide if they're interested in your content and follow you. So that's how you build a loyal audience on Pinterest with idea pins.
What about the static pins? How do they work to build your platform? How are they different?
Well, static pins are good too. Actually, static pins are the ones that can actually be linked directly to your lead magnets, to your maybe your blog post, maybe like a product that you have. Those are that's the main function for static pins. So let's just say idea pins cannot really be linked to anything because they don't have that feature yet, but they're more for people to discover you. And static pins are the pins that they can find if they click on your profile and they see your static pins, and they can click through it and get to your website.
Oh, I like that. See, I didn't know the difference, but I'm more of a reels kind of girl. I mean, I do new reels all the time. So I've just been putting them there. So how often should people really be posting on Pinterest to really generate follows and stuff? Because it's not always easy. A lot of people think that like, when you first get on there, you're gonna get all these follows. So we'll talk about that too. So it doesn't happen that overnight. So um what is the best way to really attract those people?
Ideally, you want to be pinning one pin a day, and if it's idea pin, it's better. Like I remember I had a client. We were only pinning like 14 idea pins a day. They were video pins, like reels. Actually, it was like TikToks repurposed to Pinterest, and it was only 14 of them a month. And then one of them went viral, and just one single pin brought like 7 new followers and 1,000 views and so on and so forth. So it's not that it cannot happen overnight, but ideally you want to be consistent and be pinning at least one pin a day, whether it's static or whether it's idea. Idea is going to have a higher reach, and static is going to be there to be, clickable. It's going to take you to the website.
Okay, so there's also like follows. So when you go to other Pinterest boards, you can look at their boards and actually save their material, which I think is really cool because there are great recipes there that I found that I love and I would recommend to my clients. So it's a nice way to acknowledge them for what they're doing, but also build connections. Would you agree?
Yes, actually, Pinterest likes that you are active on the platform, engaging with other users as well.
So can you send follow requests on Pinterest, or can
it's more like they decide to follow you if they're interested in your content. But also, if you have an audience already, let's say from Facebook or TikTok or Instagram or an email list, you can ask them to follow you on Pinterest.
Okay. So I mean, how long would it take to really generate like a long following? You said it's there forever, so you can potentially be growing and not even know it, correct?
Yes. Normally, the amount of time that takes for a new account to be, where you want it to be, like getting the clicks and the follows and the engagements, normally is like 6 or 8 months of consistent pinning and being consistent in the platform.
That's not bad at all. I noticed that I have more eyes on my Pinterest than I have on Facebook and everything else, and I have I have 5 profiles on Facebook. So for me, I was like, get out of here, I was there a couple of weeks and I saw 3,000 views. I was like, what? So so for me that was good, but I liked the way the platform set up and the ease. It's really not time consuming. Like if you're on other platforms and like Instagram and you are already creating Instagram reels, it's very easy because especially because they're the same size, just to upload them, so I wanted to talk a little bit about that too, because there are 2 specific sizes that you can really use on Pinterest. And one I know is the Instagram stories. I think another one is 1,000 by 1,500, or is that the Instagram one?
The static pins is 1,000 for 1,500, the static, but also you can always use the Instagram stories template on Canva, and that works for idea pins.
Okay, so it's all good stuff. So what do you want people to know? Like I know we're in other groups together, that so I see your information all the time. What would you tell people that were thinking about starting on Pinterest? What would your advice be to them?
I will say do it. Get on Pinterest and optimize your account. Do the keyword research. I'm going to explain super quickly how to do the keyword research. This you can do it right now from your phone or your app, your desktop, wherever. Go to the search bar tool, and then you type a word in there that is related to your niche. In this case, it was health, wellness, hormone health, gut health. Maybe you are writing, copywriting, maybe you are I don't know, accounting or whatever it is. Type any of those words, and then the predictive tool is going to be like showing you other words that could be related. The top 4 or 5 words are the 4 or 5 strongest keywords that you should use to optimize your profile. And I mean your profile name, your bio, your boards, your pins, anything, your tags for idea pins. For idea pins is tags. So make sure you use all of that because it's part of the optimization. Remember that Pinterest is a visual search engine, so you want to be using it the way you need to be using it.
Yeah, I sometimes have difficulty finding things that directly connect. I mean, their idea of like if you're on Instagram, you put tags and stuff like that, they kind of let you write whatever you want, where Pinterest really doesn't, like only certain things come up. So it's a little different. It takes time to get used to, but then there's also pins that it says, this confused me, so I just want to put it out there because if I was confused, it might confuse other people. There are tags that you actually physically put on your post and nobody sees them. And it's like, why am I wasting my time?
Tags.
Exactly.
The idea pins.
Nobody's seeing them. But it actually helps Pinterest decide who your audience is, right? So there was a few times I said, I don't know why she has me doing this, because I had started this with you. You helped me create an account and do this because I had an account for a really long time and it was just sending things every once in a while from Canva, and I had no idea where they were going or how to set up the account. So that's what I kept doing, and I was able to take a lot of that off, thank God. but it makes sense. And then in the notes sections, things that you want to remember so you can identify like what posts you're doing. So another thing I heard you mention in our group was that you don't want to really repurpose the content that you're using. You want to create new, fresh ideas pretty regular, not keep using. Some people think that you can just post the same thing every day, and that's not true, correct?
Yeah, there are two important things that you mentioned there. One, the repeating your own content. Like if you're going to repurpose your content, at least make it in different formats. For example, if you have a blog post, you can have your static pin for a blog post or 3 static pins with different imagery, different wording. That's the thing that you have to change it. You have to switch the wording so that you don't make Pinterest be like, hey, this person is pinning the same thing over and over and over. This person is spamming. So that's what we want to avoid. Like if you have like 10 blog posts and you want to have like 50 pins for those, just make sure that you change the imagery, that it's completely different in the image and the text. So the other thing that you're mentioning there is the tags for the idea pins. And actually, yeah, I will encourage people to use the tags because yes, we cannot see them. No one can see the tags, and neither can we after we post the pin. But the tags are gonna let people are gonna let the algorithm know where to put our content. So if we select health and wellness, Pinterest is gonna be putting our content where people is searching for health and wellness. So yeah, always use the tags.
So how long did it take you? I know that you weren't, you have a new baby and you really weren't sure what you wanted to do, but you really wanted to do something for yourself. So you put yourself out there, and it was Pinterest where you showed up. And the next thing you know, you're in business. So tell me what that's like. I don't know what to do. I'm going to go over to Pinterest and just hang out for a little while. And all of a sudden you got this booming business. So how does that work? Tell me about that.
Well, I always wanted to know about Pinterest, but the thing is that whenever I was trying to find a program, it was way out of my budget. So when I was 18, well, I was broke. Obviously, every 18-year-old is normally like no money.
Most of us.
Yeah, so I just had to wait until I had a job, and then I had some money, and then one pin. This is the story of how I became a Pinterest manager. So I was on Pinterest like every day, and because I have shown interest in Pinterest marketing before, the Pinterest algorithm remembers that and keeps showing me, Pinterest marketing pins. So I stumbled across this pin that is like become a Pinterest VA, and I click and I find a program which I took, and then yeah, I learned Pinterest, and now I'm in business.
That's pretty cool though. So what do you love about working with Pinterest the most?
That I can help people be the person behind the pin, and that person behind the pin is helping someone on the other side of the screen. It could be life changing. That's what I love the most. And also that I have like a background in graphic design, so it's something that I really like doing. I always felt interested in marketing as well, so it kind of combines the two of them, and that's what I love.
You work with a lot of people privately, and you actually do a lot of their marketing for them, correct?
Sorry, what?
You work with people privately too, and to help them do their marketing and set this stuff
And
up too,
Pinterest?
right?
Yes.
Yes.
I do the setups and the monthly management. The setups is mostly for people that don't really know where to start, so I can optimize the account, and then I tell them this is what you're gonna do from now on,
Like you
and
did with
that's
me.
it. Exactly. Yes, exactly. That's the setup. And then is the monthly management if they want me to do the work, because they don't have the time or something like that.
It can be time consuming, but I find it least restrictive in a sense of time. Like, it doesn't really put too much on me time wise in comparison to a lot of the other platforms. I think the other and you, I mean, now they have a live feature, which I just recently saw, unless that was always there and I just never noticed it. I said, oh no, another live platform.
From the phone, yes, from your app.
So from your phone, well, I was doing it on the desktop and it looked, thank God, I pressed it to see what it was. And I was, oh my God, because I was like, with curl, whatever, not curls, but my hair was standing up and, bedhead. So I was like, well, not today, but I'm gonna check that out. Have you gone live on Pinterest?
No, I'm not a live girl. This is my first live
Yeah.
ever.
I wasn't really, I think it takes practice like anything else, I wasn't the kind of person to be upfront and really like talking and stuff like that in front of a camera. I've had like this distaste for cameras since I was small, but you kind of have to put yourself out there so that people know who you are, because you
Yeah.
offer a great service. That's why I was like, you better get in here because you offer a great service. And I know that it was so much easier to sit with you in a comfortable atmosphere and in a half an hour, just really know what I needed to do. I wasn't sure I was going to remember it, so I got right on it. And I put like 15 of them out for the week or two, so I knew they were there because I knew how to press publish. But I was able to pick it up very quickly, and that's what really surprised me, how really quickly it was to adapt to.
Well, I'm definitely gonna try. Like, again, this is my first Facebook Live ever, I think. And before this, the only thing most related to be, out there in front of the camera was the workshops and at We Meet Wednesdays. The female networking
Yes,
events.
so our group, yes, I know.
Yeah,
Females supporting females, I know.
Yeah, so I used to have workshops about Pinterest marketing, and I will teach Pinterest marketing in there, but I don't do that anymore. But
Okay,
yeah.
workshops are really cool. I know that sometimes workshops work better than others. Like if you have a definitive plan when you go in there, certain things that you have to do. I know that some that I have done have gotten way off topic because the audience kind of leads you in a whole nother place and it gets away. So you got to be able to bring them back to what it is we're doing here and just, firm that so they get what they need out of that workshop. And then you could chit chat at the end. That's why we always save time at the end. So I'm really glad that you came in today. Is there anything that you'd like to share with the audience today?
Yes, I would like to share as many tips as possible. There is one secret juicy tip that I always give is when you are pinning, if you are like about to schedule or whatever, if you have a static pins, your idea pin slides, anything content that you have, always change the name of the file. Instead of being random characters, make it keywords. For example, health and wellness, gut health, hormone balancing. Just make sure that you have keywords even in the file, and then you pin it and add keywords in the pin title, add keywords in the description, in the alt text, which is mostly mainly like the title. And if you can have a keyword in your URL, that's also a boost. That's a tip that I want to share.
That's a great idea. I do have another, what is it called? Domain name that actually has a lot to do with health and wellness. So it's where I started when I first started doing my programs, I was on a different platform. So I could actually use that to key that in because that is healthy living. So I don't know, think about that. So where can these people find you? How do they reach out to you and get in touch with you to learn more about your services and to really get started on Pinterest?
Well, so I have my landing page, which is pinningwithpao.com. And I'm also on Facebook as Palafox. And on Instagram, I think I'm Palafox PBA. And on LinkedIn as well as Palafox Pinterest marketing strategist. That's
okay. So I'm also going to post it behind. Sometimes when we're live, it's hard to find the video right after the live. So I always say, in case you missed it, and I pin it again because that way I could put it. But I'm going to put all that there. I got so much out of this. It's good to have those refreshers. So I want to thank you so much for coming. I'm going to shut off the live and then we'll post everything down below. But just hang out a minute. I want to say goodbye to you personally.
Okay, thank you for having me.
Okay, so I think that went really well. I think you did a great job and you should
Thank
be
you.
very proud of yourself. So when this is all done, I upload it to YouTube too. So you'll be live there. So it's all
Wow.
about you, but it's all about using other people's platforms. I think I have people till December, but I'll squeeze you in there somewhere. I do new ones every week. I do like 3 of these a week with people, so I'm not running out of content. So, but it gets you in front of other people's audience, just like in you get to find people hear about you. They don't know about you unless it's there. 3 people responded that they loved. Oh, I have the record still.